it has grown our relationship. What's funny is that the adult and the serious conversations we have when we're shooting the podcast in that room, those conversations we weren't having at home.
If Dea was not given by God, that was a quitting moment. There was a quitting moment there. Yeah. That's why God is so good.
Yeah.
And He really gives you exactly what you need in His perfect time.
Hi, I'm Anthony Pangilinan.
And I'm Maricel Laxa-Pangilinan.
Welcome to Marriage is a Marathon.
The podcast, Season 2.
So kung Season 1, kami lang nag-uusap ba? You know, in a marathon, you don't run alone, right? It's a community. You got your coaches, people who have run before you or after you. So we decided Season 2, kailangan kausapin natin ng iba pang mga tumatakbo ng marriage as a marathon.
Yes.
So, hopefully, you continue to run with us, race with us, together, one step
At a time. Hello and welcome back to Marriage is a Marathon, the podcast, Season 2. And we are with Ben Wintle and Isa Calzado.
Woo!
Hello!
Hi, guys.
Oh, grabe, ang galing naman tong dalawang to. Daddy, are we going to continue our podcast? Like, watching you both is like season.
Ano ba?
Ano ba na?
Kaya nga season 2 eh.
Season 2. Love it. I love the intro. Thank you so much for having us here.
No.
Can you let him say something?
Oh, okay. So,
Okay?
well, he has to fight his way and to be heard.
Yes, Ben.
Thank you. Thanks for having us here. Hey guys, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah, super, really great introduction.
Thank you for coming. Isn't
yeah,
it
yeah.
inspiring? Actually, it's inspiring to watch and to listen. Well, we want to learn from you guys.
I'm intrigued. They were together for over 10 years
Yeah.
before they had their baby. So, how was that? 10 years together and suddenly, boom, you have a third one.
It was
Tagal niyong hinintay yun eh, no? Diba?
I would.
Go. Kaya
Ben-
mo yan.
Ben probably was waiting for the baby before I even knew I wanted one. Yeah, so different perspectives.
Okay.
Ben was very clear. Actually, that was one of the things that he asked me before getting engaged if I could see myself becoming a mother. Because talaga pinupush back ko siya. Dami akong fears, kuya and ate. Pakadami. So, I would tell him, I guess I want one maybe via surrogate. Ang dami-dami kong excuses. And it's like, later in life, ganyan. And then God stepped in. And then we were given the third member of our family, the best one yet. Yay!
I think we've said it before.
Yeah.
It wasn't planned.
It wasn't planned.
It wasn't planned. So
Planned. I mean, you've been
So-
together for so long. You're
Kasi
married
nga.
for 3 years. And you haven't planned?
No.
I mean, isn't that supposed to be the logical next step?
I'm not a logical person,
Okay,
Kuya Anthony.
okay.
Perhaps they just enjoyed themselves and voila, there's a surprise.
Bukod doon.
No, but he was already hoping. He was
Yeah.
already, right? You were yearning for it.
Okay.
I think deep down, couldn't imagine a life without kids. I wouldn't say I was yearning. I think it came at the perfect time, and easy to use the words. It was really a gift from God. It was really a miracle. It was maybe the only way it was going to happen, and we were blessed by that.
From my end, I said I was operating from a place of fear because of my childhood and a lot of it's multi-layered na fears. And if God did not step in, I don't think I would have really taken that leap, which is really a leap of faith.
Yes.
Na I didn't even realize is what I needed pala.
Talaga.
Oo.
So it doesn't like the baby. She didn't come out and just, you even scared her.
No.
Suddenly, oh my
I was
God,
just
this is...
even inside my belly.
Oh, you felt it now.
I felt it already.
There was this gap.
Did
being
you
filled.
feel parts of you heal because of her? Yes, and still healing. And also triggered sometimes, but when I'm triggered, Parang it's an opportunity for me to reflect and understand and heal.
You know, I like
and be
that. I like
better.
that thought, that you can be triggered by something that actually heals you. Right? So don't say no to what can trigger, because it
Yes.
could be the path towards healing.
Yes, agree. I think
And you
it
talk a
is.
lot about this in your podcast about healing, right? You talk, you're quite transparent about what you've gone through.
And
But
so you live quite public and private lives as well. So Ben, you're very public. I mean, very private. Now you're public because of your podcast.
Podcast
How is
na
it
yan.
now?
And his and him on
Rich.
Instagram shirtless. Ay, sorry.
So how is
Anyway,
how
ayaw
is the
mag-t-shirt
dynamic
eh.
of your marriage right now? Because you have made yourself into a public figure, whereas before you were very private.
Yeah. I wouldn't say the dynamic of the marriage per se has changed much. It has grown our relationship in that. What's funny is that the adult and the serious conversations we have when we're shooting the podcast in that room, those conversations we weren't having at home.
You
We weren't having at home, to be honest. So
Uh-huh.
Ako si Kuya, papagalitan na tayo.
Hindi.
But
I'm
that's
so
the reality.
grateful that you guys saw something in public that you were not even sharing in private.
Yes.
You know, so God again set
A
up the
gift.
platform for you guys, right?
Yes.
So what? I want to go back to my question, Langhan. So what changed from the life that was just both of you, you being the public one and you being private, to now having a child and now you both being public? What changed?
And all three, including our child. There's even that because
Oh, wow.
of social media.
So ano nagbago? What
Well-
changed? From then, it was just Ben and Isa to Ben, Isa, their daughter, and the podcast.
Ang daming baby. Ang dami.
Oh,
And
baby
Buki,
na ng podcast,
Oo,
no?
yung kanyang business baby. I mean, I
Oh
think
my
Of
God.
course, Buki, you started even before you got married.
Congratulations,
right?
by the way.
Yeah,
Booking.
yeah, thank
Amazing
you.
business model.
Thank you.
This guy, wow, from a startup to the growth, how you've scaled it. Congratulations, sir.
thank you.
Yeah, so going back
Kept
to
with
our
it.
question.
Yes, what changed?
ito
Yeah,
na.
so-
Ano nagbago?
So I think in short, we had to grow up. It was a catalyst to really growing up and taking real responsibility for ourselves and for each other and,
So you
and
got married
building
as
a home.
babies, huh? You got married as babies.
Yes, I think we're still babies. We're still two immature kids having to grow up now. I think that's why I was telling you earlier in the dressing room that in hindsight, right? I think I would have greatly benefited from having a child earlier because now that I have Dea, I now feel the need to grow up and
Can you give us an example of what is an immature to a mature attitude? What was a baby attitude? What is a grown-up, more mature attitude? What changed?
Kuya,
Halimbawa lang.
okay, Kuya,
Para lang mag-gets ko yung
okay,
shift.
okay,
no?
shift. Oo. Bibigyan kita ng
Halimbawa.
I'll paint a picture
Okay,
of what I
sige.
was like growing up. And I'll briefly include you both in this story. Growing up, I was more of a party animal, as they would call it. I loved going out. I actually, at some point, even in college, I had no clear direction. Pero I'll go back to high school. I loved parties, and in high school, I remember being in a party in Capitol Hills. And we were loud, and then we were told kailangan patayin na or hinaan yung music kasi may mga batang natutulog. And guess who the couple was? And now that I am a mother myself, that has happened to us when we've had to ask our neighbor to kindly lower the volume.
Okay.
And that's simply put, 'di ba? Parang little things like when you are young, you don't really think about anybody else but yourself. Because it's all about you, what's best for me, ganyan. But now, yan yung immature. And
Yung
having
ikaw
to,
lang.
anong masaya for me? Anong good for me? What feels good in the moment or whatever? But now that I am we're learning to be more mature, we're becoming more mature, it's not just what's good now.
So lower na po ang volume ni Isa.
Oh, pero yung sa pagkwento ko, parang malakas pa rin. Nataldal pa rin ako.
Okay lang yun. That's a core that should not change.
Yeah.
How about you, Ben? What changed?
Yeah, I think on that phrase, lowering the volume, that relates back to lowering the volume in the house. I think with a child at home, as a couple, we have to be more conscious in terms of how we treat each other,
Oh, yeah.
and
Yes.
and catching out when we're arguing. The child is there.
Hirap.
It goes back to that. It's lowering the volume, right? So
Yeah.
I guess when I said we had to grow up, it's I guess more fully realizing how important it is to take care of our relationship first.
She's 3 years old,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, she is.
Okay. So pag mga 4 or 5 na yan, maglalagay na yan ng notes under your door when you're arguing. And say, lower the volume, which is what Sanana does. Jesus, Jesus.
Forgive.
Wow.
Forgive. Oh my God.
They even have letters that say, hug each other
It
now.
comes under the door.
But that's so nice because you actually close the door.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very intentional. I grew up in a home where doors were not closed and the fights would
Walang
happen.
boundaries masyado.
Yeah, so that's why you understand now the more of the fear. And I didn't want that to happen. And so now when I catch myself, because I'm more emotional, so he's really steady, Ben. So the volume is quite steady here on this side. But here, it can go from very, very sweet to very, very intense dragon.
Yeah.
So I have now to catch myself, and because I see that Dea's looking at us and I go, gagawin ko. Halimbawa, intense. Kunwari nagdadrama ako na parang heightened lang din.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
parang hindi niya na-feel na galit yun.
Yeah.
It's just heightened volume. Pero I know I can't keep doing this, right?
volume.
Heightened
I
volume
like that.
lang siya.
Pwede pala yun, I can see. Heightened volume.
Oo.
Because she always says I'm screaming.
Nagagalit ako, pero ang
Hindi naman.
saya-saya, di
Well,
ba?
Bakit lang?
I'm married to a motivational speaker. So he's always like full of life and energy.
Yes.
And sometimes when he's trying to make a point, it sounds like he's mad. Or
But
maybe
he's just passionate.
too firm. But
Yeah.
he's really passionate about what he's saying. But for me, I really need you to be calm.
Yeah.
Really calm.
Okay.
So it's a different
We've
dynamic.
been talking about their differences ever since we started, diba? Differences in personality.
Your volume is elevated.
Volume.
Your volume is elevated.
Okay.
Yeah.
and then Indio, diba? Tapos parang afam dito, diba?
I was like, India?
Indio,
Indio.
ano ba
I was like, ako, Indio ako.
What?
Siya yung afam.
Can you please tell us at least one thing that you truly share as an interest? What is common apart from the love that you choose to give each other every day? Meron ba kayong shared
Interest.
interest? Meron ba? Example nga,
I
please.
see them working out together in their yard.
Yeah.
Let them ask. I'm not asking you. I'm asking.
Yeah.
I'm asking
Food and fitness are the quick ones.
Fitness. is-
Food, fitness, but
You-
wellness. Yeah. And
Okay.
what else? Because not sports, because he was sporty, I was not. But shared love for partying back in
Fun.
the day. Fun.
Oh, yun. So food, fitness, and fun.
Fun, yeah.
The 3 Fs.
Very important F's in life. Life, yeah.
But, there's something that you call him.
Yeah, you call Ben your rock.
Yun.
Yeah.
What does this signify?
I mean, mukha namang bato yan, pero...
Bato-bato.
Oh, di ba? But what? Ben said you don't call him that at home. But
Yeah, why?
Ano ka naman sabi ko? The rock.
I only get real compliments when there's a camera rolling. At home, when it's just us,
Take it in.
the tone
This is
and
the
the
best-
tone and the volume is
The
different.
best you'll get in a...
Well,
about
enjoy
a
it
week.
while it's there.
Please tell-
right?
So
Tell
why?
the
Why
world
do you
we're
call
recording.
him the rock?
No,
Your rock.
I always say this. I often say this, you're the rock or the tree, because you... Well, I say tree also because I found that he keeps me rooted. Parang he keeps me grounded. So I think without weighing me down.
Yeah.
So
Uy, maganda yun. Grounded without weighing you down.
because as a free spirit and coming from my background in life, I've needed to have more
Yeah.
grounding,
Foundation.
a foundation. And Ben comes from a very grounded, stable family. So that's what he brings into my life and into, our home, which ngayon, in the beginning, isipin mo, sorry, Pupia, yung boring. That's why it took so long. Kasi kuya, he's super good looking, but he wasn't my type in terms of I liked artists or musicians, bad boys. But here comes this very good looking guy and he's very stable. So I was like, can I, will I be happy? But now, God is so good.
Yeah.
He will give you exactly what you need.
Not
Not,
necessarily
what
what
you
you
want.
want, no?
Yeah.
Gusto mo maginoo na medyo bastos.
Ay, yes. Gusto ko
Pero
yan.
si Ben, maginoo na medyo bland.
Na may konting kabastos naman. Yung sakto lang.
Yeah.
It's humor. So, bastos.
Baliktad mo
bastos?
yung tanong. Kung ano meron.
Yeah.
Hindi. So if you are her rock, what is she to you?
Galingan mo.
Bagyo. Ano?
Let him.
Hindi alam.
Sorry, just on the last comment though. Instead of rock, can you call me rock star?
Sige. The rock star.
I don't want to fully accept that I'm not exciting.
No.
Let's change the rock to rock star, please.
Business.
Yeah.
Just not the
Just make me. You don't.
Guys talk about that between both of you.
Yeah.
No, this is the
on our
right
podcast
talk about
between
it.
us.
It doesn't have to be justified. Just say rock star.
Rock star.
Okay.
Yeah. So when people ask you, Isa, what is Ben to you?
No, yes, but just to correct me, it's not as if he's not exciting. He's very adventurous. So actually napapagod ako. Yung excitement is from nature and it doesn't have to be an emotional roller coaster just for things to be exciting. So okay. Oh, what am I to you? Galingan mo talaga.
You
He's
have this one chance. You have one job.
You have one job, Ben.
if I'm a rock star to Isa, Isa to me is a bigger heart. So Isa has, it's the relationship has been very yin and yang, in that what I lack or want to develop, she offers. So when I say bigger heart, a bit of fire,
A bit?
a bit of fire, a bit of passion, but also with that, with the heart theme, I love her values, how she is with people. A lot of people know Isa for really how she is with people, and I think that's taught me so much in all my like everyday dealings in life and in business. So yeah, I think our values have come together and built something much stronger.
Wow.
This is Psalm 78, 72. David shepherded his people with an upright heart and a skillful hand. Right?
Wow.
So that combination of heart and hand, right? I see that in you.
Yeah.
They
That's the
Heart and
thing.
hand, that's it.
memorize the thing that you read
Yeah.
that night.
So sa Tagalog,
Memorize.
puso at kakayahan.
Thank you,
Ability
Kuya.
and heart.
Right,
Wow.
that's it.
But you guys have shown us that you evolve, right?
Yes.
So, podcaster ka na. No, we always thought that Isa was the communicator. He was the one out there. Career changes. I mean, a lot of couples come together making sure that if there's one thing they will hold on to, it's their profession, it's who they are, that's what built them. But you seem to be open to evolution, right? How do you do that? How do you make sure that you're willing to do things that you've not done before, but you don't lose your core? Because others really fight for that. Diba? Artista ako, habang buhay artista ako. Diba? Ako negosyante ako, habang buhay negosyante ako. But you actually evolve.
Yeah. I mean, I think we both see it as just really adding to the I guess the base of things we do. It's been the podcast journey thus far has been complementary and I guess reinforcing to each of our careers.
Guys, between us, okay? Ben and Isa, between us, that podcast. Yes, keep going.
So I think it's well, we did it to I guess build on and leverage the platforms and I guess the authority we have. Yes, I'm not as public as Isa. I run Bookie, and I guess it was a platform. It is a platform to talk more about our struggles, our learnings at home, in business, in our careers, and also learn from others. So it's been more complementary and I guess reinforcing to what we do.
Yeah.
It hasn't felt like much of a jump. It's felt kind of natural to.
It wasn't easy. It wasn't difficult to convince you.
No.
Who did the convincing?
Yeah, of course. I didn't have to convince him. I just said, because in 2020, I was being offered to do a podcast. And even before that, I've always wanted to do kind of like a talk show. I mean, in a perfect world, I would have like a Drew Barrymore kind of talk show. But I said, tapos na ba? Parang so many people are doing podcasts. And then I thought of, we have to create content. I just want to say, Kuya, because I'm an actress, but you have to adapt with the times. You have to evolve with the times. And a lot of us are really going to, getting work from social media. And I know that the two of us, we're not content creators talaga that, we're going to do a lot of skits. Nothing wrong with that. It's just not us.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I said, if we need to create content also for business, visibility of my brand and your brand, of Bookie, what is the best and most natural way to do it? And I felt that this was that. And so when I pitched it to Ben, it was a no-brainer. It was just about finding the good producer and partners.
Wala naman deck. You didn't have to
No.
No.
Me? Make a deck? Act out ko na lang yung bawat
So the
frame.
initiation came from you.
Yes.
In fact, as you were speaking, I said, wow, strategic pala tong lady na ito. No, you did look at what you had and you look at what was needed out there, and then boom, this was the one that was going to fill that gap. No?
Yes. And, it's also about being able to create from our end, because you can't keep waiting for producers to come up to you, to give you that opportunity, especially now in this day and age when that's the power of social media.
Yes, the
People
power
are
of one,
creating
or a power of two. Right?
Thank you, Kuya. But you can create now and do something and still be visible. Dati you had to be on a teleserye or a movie, diba? Or a TV show just for people to know who you are. Now you can create something ideally of value and substance to the viewers, and you people can discover you. You don't necessarily have to sign up with a network to do that. Of course, it's more powerful when you have a show, but at least there's still something. And I can spend more time with Dea, with the family, by doing this for now.
And I'm glad that this is also helping you out unravel things about your marriage and then getting to know each other more.
Na deeper
Gusto ko yun,
level.
Han, yung
Yes.
sinabi kanina na hindi naman pinag-usapan sa bahay yan, pero sa podcast pinag-usapan.
Yeah.
namin.
So what he was saying was you didn't talk about certain things at home, but you talked about it in the podcast.
Oh, she's still slating for Ben. Sorry, thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
And so if this is a marathon, your marriage is a marathon, what kilometer are you in?
Oy,
What
nag-half
stage of
marathon
the
na yan si
marathon
Isa.
are you in?
But you're more than half na. In this stage, you're more than half.
Really? I was gonna say it feels like only halfway point. Siguro
42 kilometers. So you're in 21 for you. It
I
feels
think-
like you're in 21.
I think it's about 21, or maybe.
What do you think?
What do you think, Ben?
I'd say
He's
even
just getting
earlier.
started.
Yeah, parang I'd say nga wala pang 21 eh.
There's a
think
few
he
different
has
perspectives to take. I think if it was from a perspective of, I guess, how much learning and how much meaning to fill in the cup of life, I go with what you said. It's like halfway. That's obviously it's a guess. Nobody really knows. In terms of how I feel about the question, could be the first kilometer. I don't care.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Wow.
We don't know, right?
Like I think
Marami pa kayong bigas na kakainin.
Kakainin. Carbs.
Well, lots of carbs still to
Bigas
consume.
is
Yeah.
rice.
Yeah.
the important thing is we're enjoying it, right? And that the important thing is like that we would want to run together forever, right?
But you won't always enjoy the run. Han, ano yung-
100%
ano yung wall?
not.
Ano yung wall sa marathon? They must have faced
you
it
hit
a number of
the
times.
30th kilometer.
Even
it's
before,
what
sometimes
you call
Han,
the
it's,
wall.
sometimes it's even earlier, Han.
And it makes you want to decide whether you're gonna quit
Yeah.
or you're gonna finish.
Yeah.
But you said something a while ago that really encouraged me. You said you're not a quitter, you're a
Finisher.
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 But I'm sure there are moments.
Oh,
Okay, so what were the walls in your life where,
Oh.
boom, can I still run? Can I take the next step? Is it
Yeah.
still worth it? Meron bang mga panahon na ganon?
Ang dami.
Example naman, give us so people can relate, no?
Before Dea, if Dea was not given by God, I think that was a quitting moment. There was a quitting moment there. Yeah. That's why God is so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And He really gives you exactly what you need in His perfect time. So, we are not quitters, but ganun pala kasi because there wasn't much at stake for me. Parang divorce is an easy word to throw around when you're not thinking, when you're like in the heat of the moment. But when God gave us Dea, I don't use that word
As
often.
much.
A lot
Not
less.
on a daily basis
A lot
anymore.
less.
Oo, dati talaga yung parang, because you're like, kaya ko to, no? Bakit pa? Ngayon parang, no It just deepened the level of my love for Ben and appreciation. So, he is now not just my husband. He is the father of
course.
my child. And there will be a lot of walls, I feel. Not just one big wall. But these walls, I will always just go back to. I have to keep going because this is God's marathon for me. This is it. This is the race that He has set for me. There is no other race. Just this is the path.
wow.
Before we go to bed, when you said that you were scared beforehand, diba? That the thought of having a child was not even there when you got married. What changed in your mindset when Dea came? What changed? You said God changed it, but how did He change it from then, fear, no way, don't even talk about it, to where you are now? What is it now? What's the mindset now?
Love. Just He filled me with so much love.
Dumating siya.
Yeah, and just letting me know that I am capable of being a good mother.
Yes.
So the fear wasn't just the child, it's kung kaya mo.
Kaya ko. That
okay.
if having a child might lead me to some kind of insanity or all these fears. Also, meron din very babaw pero valid fear of the body you worked hard for. Because I was obese when I was young. So parang, I've worked so hard
Baka
for this
bumalik.
body. Tapos, mawawala lang. Oh, okay. So it's so layered,
Galing,
very
galing.
layered. But for me, really what changed is I have it in me to nurture.
Yes, you
Oo.
do.
Yeah, that's your
Now,
core. That's in
better.
you. That's in you.
Remember this. Perfect love casts out all fear.
Galing naman. Perfect verse, Han, for Isa. There was that fear. It was love that casted out that fear. Galing. I love that.
God's perfect
Sakto.
love.
God's perfect love talaga. Thank
Yes.
you, Lord.
How about you, Ben?
What changed when we had Dea? Isa kind of said it well. I think it was, to use the same analogy, it became a higher stakes game, a higher stakes race. Right? Whereas I think the mentality before we had Dea was, we didn't really know it, but we were in some kind of marathon race. but the mentality before Dea was, we can switch sport. Let's go play pickle. Let's go take up pickleball or something else. When we had Dea, we realized this is the race. This is the most important race. This is the race with the most meaning. We have to take care of our relationship to build love in this household and build love with Dea.
Wow.
Talaga pag pamilya na yun, no?
That's really something that will mature you, is when you get out of yourself realization because you have somebody else in the picture to take care of. So it makes you now selfless.
I know.
And as she grows up, the amazing thing here is you see how much she will contribute to that dream. She will grow that dream, right, of running an even better race. But not all races end well. Some, as we have seen, Maricel and I, whimper their way to the finish line. They don't wow their way.
Yeah.
So we wanted to know what does a good finish look like? You know, what does finishing well look like for both of you? Or it could be different for both.
Grabe yung whimper.
Oh, meron talaga gumagapang.
It's still inching forward, right?
course,
As long as
sometimes we whimper.
it's not
Yes.
giving
There
up.
are moments na yung kapit mo, yung ito na lang yung kuko mo nakakapit.
Wala,
diba?
kakapit ka pa
Pero
din.
nakakapit
Diba?
ka pa rin. Lord,
Mustard seed faith pa rin yan.
Lord, please. Ganyan.
Or leave the race and come back, right?
What is, oh my gosh.
Kung may finish line,
Best-
okay? Yung
best
final
case
picture nyo,
scenario.
ano yun? Anong nandun, di ba?
Finish
You want to
your
hear
photo.
good and faithful servant? Ano ba? What does it look like?
Wow. What does it look like? San,
Together, embracing.
together, yes. Hopefully with more.
Hopefully with
Hopefully with
more.
more.
Yeah.
Kids together, but thy will be done.
Yes.
You know, basta
Yes.
healthy. That's how I see it. Vibrant finish. I want it to be
Fully alive.
fully alive.
Yeah.
Yung, you know, yung, I want everybody feeling that joy.
Yeah, hindi yung
Joyful
buhay
finish.
pa rin. Hindi
Oo,
ganon,
hindi.
di ba?
Buhay
Hindi.
na
Buhay na
buhay.
buhay.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Vibrant. I like that term. Fully
Yeah.
alive.
Do you agree?
Yeah. Me on a rock star on stage. Yeah. Playing the guitar, singing.
Or the
On
sounds.
stage.
What she always wanted. Yeah.
Which happens in every
Yeah.
marathon, huh? You know, people performing at the end, you know, just
Yeah.
enjoying and partying on stage.
Hannah has a
Playlist?
an
festival.
event, yes, coming up, and she
Just
said,
one festival.
Yes,
It's a
and
festival. It's not
a
just a
festival.
run.
So
Celebration.
after there is a party. That's my kind of run.
Yeah.
With rocks. Seriously, so it's you seeing
Rockstar.
yourself up there on
Playing.
stage, playing, enjoying.
And I want to
Yeah.
end with this.
Wait, I want to know. I want to know a little more about his
I want
finish.
to know the song
Song, what
that
song?
he's playing.
Oh, okay. What song?
What's the song?
Good question.
What song are you playing?
Rockstar
What
Ben,
song?
what's the song?
Gosh, what song am I playing?
I Did It My Way.
Oh
I
my
love
God.
that song. Favorite ng daddy ko.
Ano nga, what
O,
song?
habang nag-iisip ka, ito nga po pala yung...
I guess
That's a
it's.
tough
I mean, in
question.
terms of like what lyrics come to mind, it's "Don't Stop Believing."
Okay.
Don't
right?
Stop
No,
Believing.
not necessarily my favorite song, but,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
the
yeah,
lyrics
yeah.
come to mind for sure. Yeah.
Oh, fun fact. We had to do that song for the very first app that Ben and his very small team of 4 at that time created in 2011 or 2012. It was called Duets. He wanted a karaoke app where you could do a duet with a friend. And we had to do a pitch tape presentation and we sang that song.
Yeah, and I can't sing very well, so imagine
Can
in
I?
a co-working space, like kind of under my breath in a corner, I'm singing to test out this app. Like every day for months, I was quietly singing it to this app with my team. Yeah, side story.
So don't stop believing.
Don't stop
Don't stop
believing.
believing.
Yes.
Hold
Well,
on to that
for those.
feeling.
Maybe I want to ask them, Han, to say a message to those who are watching. For those who perhaps think it's a bit late, or for those who have much fear, right? Should I even try? What would you have to say to these couples who are
Try in terms of getting married or having kids.
both? Just
Yeah.
moving forward. There are a lot watching us now,
Yeah.
thinking, "Pwede pa ba? Matanda na ako." Diba? Will it be worth it? Because I've got fears. Where I've been and where I've come from.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
does
yeah.
Ben and Isa
Yeah.
have to say?
Yeah. Honestly, nobody ever took me, held me, and looked me in the eye and shaked me and says, "Ben, you have to have kids. It's so much fun. It brings so much joy." Nobody ever did that to me. Maybe not. If somebody had done that, maybe to both of us, maybe we would have had children sooner. But it really is the highest stakes game. It is the most important race or game, and it's the meaning of life, right? It's so much fun. It creates so much joy. Yes, it's super hard at times. I have it a lot easier than most other dads. I will admit. But it's
Yung tingin ko sa kanya yung-
it's so worth it. Nothing beats the feeling of having
Mayaya
kids, right?
tayo, di ba?
Guys, can you feel it? Ben's doing it, saying, "Come on, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Isa.
I mean,
It all happens in good time. Everybody's obviously got their own timing with it.
Yeah,
It's our
not the
timing.
earliest time, but the right time. I think
right
we picked it
time.
up
Yeah,
from
yeah.
you guys.
I'll just, a lot of people are very scared now. And of course, a lot of us were like me, fearful, or also very, ambitious, and you want to do this, especially with social media. We all want to achieve this before we have a child or before we get married. And very valid, I lived that life. Those were my choices. And my message would probably be, ask yourself, if you are in a fearful state, ask yourself, what would you do and what would your decisions be if you flip that switch and just come from love? What would your life look like? And
that.
in terms of timing, no pressure. We had ours late. I said to you earlier, I wish I had a child earlier because God is humbling me also in so many ways now. But that's my journey. Now, what I wish for the people in their 20s and then their 30s now is, I wish I had mine younger so that I could possibly have more. And
Hindi pa tapos yan, ha?
Oh,
Pwede
hindi
pa,
pa tapos.
pwede pa.
Hindi ko sinasabing impossible.
Oo, hindi pa.
But the recovery time,
Yes.
because you're older, is real.
Yeah.
That does not change, I feel. Like, it cuts across all demographics, yung pagod ng katawan mo. So, these are things I didn't think about when I was younger. But I do want to encourage. Because I feel like before I was part of the narrative that kind of maybe discouraged people. So I would love to encourage you, if you are open and thinking about it, see what there's a blessing. You know, the child will bless you in many ways. However, syempre, I discourage also having too early. Ako lang, yung too
Yeah.
early. Kasi ako, if I...
Right time nga,
Right time
diba?
talaga.
Perfect time dapat.
Parang,
Perfect time.
but there are people who in their younger years are already mature enough. So, I think it is very personal and you will know when is the best time for you. And if that block is just like fear of, I don't have enough money yet, I don't have this, I'm insecure in this, that way, actually that's the time you surrender. Because you will never be prepared, right?
Yeah.
So just surrender and lift it up to God. And I guess the prayer there is that He leads you to the path that is best for you.
So Ben is going, it's worth it. And Isa saying, his timing is best, diba?
And she's
It's
also
not too
saying-
early.
Right?
It's
She's
never
also
too
saying,
early.
Go for it.
And
Go for
and,
it.
and she's saying, go for it. And we're telling her, keep going for it. Because on season 4 or 5, we're going to be welcoming them with their next child. Max!
Yeah, you said it.
Only God knows.
For your recovery, because you only recover once you have the second one. So seriously, that should be a prayer, right?
Yeah.
For an even better recovery. Maraming salamat.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
Ben and Isa. Woo,
Thank
woo,
you.
woo.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
journeying with us.
Thank you.
And marriage is a marathon. And our commitment here is we're here for you to journey together till a good, amazing end.
Thank you. And thank you for manifesting with us. Nandun ka na sa recovery
Oh,
part.
dapat
eh.
nandun na.
Nandun na kayo eh.
Nandun na.
Yan ang manifestation.
Amen.
Diba? Nandun na tayo. We're manifesting for
The best
for
is
the
yet
best.
to come.
Amen.
Every time Maricel and I are thinking of our next marathon, you set it na. You set it na. That's gonna happen. Then you prepare for it. So now you guys set it na and prepare for it. Yo! Salamat.
Thank
God bless you
Thank
guys.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us,
for
guys.
having us.
Amazing.
Thank you. So inspiring to have this conversation with you.
Marriage is a marathon.
Podcast Season 2.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Marriage is a Marathon, the podcast season 2.
Thank you so much, Mango, for our outfits for today. This episode was shot at Midnight Dream Studio.
For feedback, suggestions, questions, please comment below. And don't forget to follow us on our socials, Anthony Pangilinan and Mommy Maricel.
Run it one step at a time. See you in our next podcast, and God bless you.